Hey everyone, I can't believe that we made it till June here, and our garden is fantastic, and it's kind of raining a little bit today, so I'm gonna have to make this quick, but I wanted to give you a quick update on our garden and what's happening. So check out our tower garden here is just doing amazing. Look at the spinach up top. And in just a second, I'll show you how we got an even bigger harvest out of our spinach than we would have. And then look, our kale is just really, I mean, we're ready to harvest this again. We've already harvested it once. I'll throw up a couple shots here of us harvesting, and you can see the bountiful harvest that we're already getting off of this. We've got some basil, our lacinato kale, our collards. We just ate some of these this morning. They were absolutely wonderful. Our squash down here is doing good, and look, we've got a little, let's see if we got a little squash coming on. We've actually got a few. Our cucumbers over on this side are coming along. We've got some flowers down there. We've got some eggplant, pepper. Here's another one of our eggplants, and look at what's coming along here. It's a little flower. And then over on this side, we've got our tomatoes. Get it back to focus again. Got our tomatoes here. 3 things of tomatoes, and look, we've got a tomato coming too, so we're super excited about that. We always love it when you get food coming on. The one thing that we're having a little trouble here is this is our zucchini, I believe, and you can see it's starting to get like a mildew or some type of powdery mildew or blight or something. So we're gonna need to give it some extra nutrients. We'll cut off some of those leaves, give it some extra nutrients and some probiotics just to really boost its immune system and do everything that we can to keep that from spreading. So there's a little update about our garden, and let me show you a really neat little trick that you can do to really get a larger harvest when you're planting something like spinach. Okay friends, so in this video I'm going to share with you a really simple technique that you can really up your harvest when it comes to certain types of crops, specifically like spinach is the example we're going to use today, but you can do the same thing with beets, you can do the same thing with radishes, you can do the same thing even with carrots and other similar crops like that. So the very first step is that when we seeded the spinach, we seeded it much thicker than we wanted it in the end. You know, spinach in the end should be 3 to 6 inches apart per plant. And so we seeded it much thicker. Even these plants are still way thicker, but then what you do is you let the spinach sprout, or the beets or whatever it is, you let it sprout and let it grow for a little bit, and then you can come in and thin it. And you know, normally we do thinning to make sure that our plants are at the right spacing, which is proper, but the neat thing is with these plants is that you can use those thinnings and all of a sudden they've just added to your harvest. Does that make sense? And so we've thinned this once, but we still haven't thinned it down to the spacing that we want. As you can see, we've got spinach here that is way closer than the 3 to 6 inches. So we're gonna thin these down to about 3 to 4 inches apart. But look at all of this harvest that we're gonna be able to get by taking out some of these plants. Now you won't want to let them get too large, especially if they're growing too close to each other, because you can risk pulling out another plant when you pull up one of them. So you just come along and start pulling out these plants to get them down to the desired thinning level. And we'll do this around the whole edge, but look, we're gonna have a large harvest of spinach just off of our thinnings, where if we had thinned them down to the 3 to 6 inches apart right at the very beginning without letting them grow a little bit, we would have lost this whole harvest. So you can up your harvest a ton just by doing this one simple little trick. So let's see how much we can get out of here. Okay, so here friends, look, here we have 3 ounces of spinach that we harvested just from the thinnings from our tower garden there. And you know, we never would have had this. I mean, that's a nice little salad right there. We never would have had it if we hadn't used the special method of thinning. So make sure to plant your plants a little thickly, let them grow a little ways before you thin them, and then you can use the thinnings and you'll have a larger harvest and you can eat more from your garden. Okay friends, so that's a pretty cool little tip, isn't it? All right, but before we jump back into our main training session, I want to show you some videos of the farm back at home, or our garden I should say, back at home, where Dad and Mom are just doing an awesome job with my nephews and my niece. Oh, it's just fantastic. So we'll check out these shots from back at the home garden.
We're excited about our garden near the creek. We have put little orange flags to mark the rebar so they'd be less likely to be tripped over. I'll give you a picture of how things have grown. It's the basil and this beautiful stand of lettuce. This is a romaine that's heat resistant. What is this variety, Edwin, that's heat resistant, the second one? Nevada. And then we have a sword variety that's also heat resistant. Thai sword leaf. We have some mini heads. We've planted zephyr squash, yellow, and zucchini. And corn. The potatoes have come up nicely. Eggplants are producing. That's the broccoli you see at the end, far side of the garden there. Quite a difference in the last month when we showed you the new transplants. Got the tomatoes trellised. Although we had this tarp on this garden plot for about 2 to 3 months, and it did a pretty good job of getting rid of the old weeds that had grown up here. This is after uncovering. This grass has carpeted the garden. So Edwin's clearing it. I've been hilling the tomatoes. You can see my hoe up there. And the potatoes are growing beautifully. These are the ones you saw the kids planting. Alistair enjoyed planting them. We're getting some beds ready to plant more. And our lettuce is just, couldn't be prettier right now. We've had a beautiful, wet, cool spring. So this is the lettuce that you saw that we just planted. And the basil. And here we are, preparing beds again.
Oh! Uh-oh, you got off. You get back on? Hang on tight. Hang on tight, girlie. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh. Okay, now we're going to do it this way. Whee! Whee! We got that dirt up.
Yay!
Okay, so we're back here and hope you enjoyed that. Let's jump back into the training and we'll talk more there. We'll see you there.